Good morning, everybody. Today's date is actually Saturday the 21st of May, and a bit of a different background because I'm actually staying at Cranage Hall near Crewe for the Crochet Sanctuary Day workshop. And I've just been doing some editing of my latest video. And the introduction, I think if I'd left the introduction as it was, you would have been scared because I looked in quite a state at the time that I recorded it. And that was just due to the nature of this video. It's quite an emotional one. So I thought I'd just re-record the introduction. And basically, it's a video all about my latest creativity adventure. And I am covering a family heirloom, or recovering a family heirloom with fabric. It's a wicker crib that's been in the family for 45 years. And in this video, I share the story, the background of this wonderful crib. And a lot of the reason for making the video is so that I've got a record of the process that I'm going to have to follow when I start to recover it. But it's all explained in this video, and right now I'm just going to do another garbled introduction and not make it any better than the last one that I'd attempted to do. Enjoy the video. I think there's going to probably be maybe 2 or 3 videos in this series, because it's going to be quite a journey, and it'd be lovely to take you along on that journey. And I hope you enjoy it because it's something a little bit different for my channel. So do let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And I'll catch up with you all again very soon. All right, enjoy the video. Good morning. Today is Monday the 2nd of May. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK. And I've got a very special project to do over the next month or two. This here next to me is a very old wicker crib that was actually purchased for my youngest brother, and he is 45 years of age this year, and it's been a bit of a family heirloom. It was originally purchased by my eldest sister whilst my mum was pregnant with our youngest brother. She was 18, my sister, so there's an 18-year age gap between my eldest sister and my youngest brother, and she was out working, and this was her gift to her new baby brother. Now, mum, underneath is just bare wicker. I don't know if you can see there, and mum covered it for Andrew. I don't know if I've got any photos of it. I'll see if anybody else has in the family, and I might be able to insert a picture. But basically that was the start of a family tradition where every grandchild then slept in this crib that had been my brother's originally. And it was quite soon after Andrew was born that the first grandchild arrived. I think it was just 2 years later. That was Lindsay. And it's been recovered multiple times ever since. I'm not sure, I'm going to have to ask my sisters if it was recovered every baby or just like for every sister. So was it recovered for my eldest sister's children and then my next sister's children and then my other brothers and mine? So it's been recovered an awful lot. And one thing I'm regretting is not having taken closer attention when my mum was recovering it. Because now I find myself in the situation that my younger brother Andrew his wife is expecting their first baby, and he has asked if I would now recover it for that baby, which is lovely, but also a bit scary and quite emotional, because obviously I'm taking over from my mum, who had done it for all of the other children, grandchildren. One of my sisters I do remember helping, Suzanne, I can remember her helping, but unfortunately she doesn't live anywhere near me, so she's not going to be able to offer a great deal of assistance, in person at least. So now the other slight problem in this is that my brother now lives in Canada and the baby is due in August. So I have to get a shifty on really. And my plan is, with it being Bank Holiday Monday, I've got a few hours free time. I'm going to take photographs in great detail so that I can refer to them, and then I'm going to carefully remove the fabric. I've got my embroidery scissors, which I think will be very, very useful, and my seam ripper. Now, what I also want to do is be very careful in removing the fabric, because I need to know how much fabric I've got to purchase to recover it, because right now I have not got a clue how much is needed. So I also, because it's 20, oh, how many years is it? 22 years or 23 years since this was last covered, and the fabric here is Winnie the Pooh. So I want to take it off carefully. I need to measure it so that I know how much fabric I need to purchase, and then wash it. And I want to keep this fabric because I think that it will be really nice to make something from this to give to my niece, who was the last person to have used it, because I know that this crib means an awful lot to her as well. So I was thinking maybe a memory bear or a memory cushion, something like that. And of course it will also hold a memory of my mum, her nana. So I'm definitely not just going to throw away this gorgeous fabric. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know how long this video is going to take. I think I will be recording it over a few sessions. A lot of it will probably be fast forwarded so that I'm skipping through the more tedious aspects. But yeah, I'll take you on the journey, the highs and the lows. I'm sure there's going to be lots of emotions, but I just want to do my mum proud really. And the one thing I do remember is I can see her sat at the side of the crib with a sewing needle, a curved sewing needle, like a semicircular shape, because that was how she got through to the wicker to attach the fabric. I'm sure. I just remember her sitting here at the side going through with this curve, and I was fascinated by the curved needle. So that's it basically. I've put the crib up in the attic, which is where my craft room and Mrs. Cluemake's headquarters used to be up until about a year ago. My son has kind of taken it over. It was a bit of an Xbox gaming area for him. but he's not using it too much at the moment. So I thought, right, put the crib up in here and then I can just escape whenever I've got some free time and do some work on it. So I'm going to take some photographs now, then I'll start recording again as I begin to unpick it. Okay, I hope you enjoy the journey with me. So what it looks like Mum has done is when she's attaching this bit here, the fabric to the lining, hopefully the future Amanda will understand what she's done. So she's laying that right sides together and then gone round the edge and stitching even though I'm struggling to see the stitches. Right, let's start unpicking. See how I keep drinking my coffee, procrastinating. And I think you're slightly wonky, so I hope you don't feel too seasick. Here we go. Undoing my mum's hand stitching. That's the first one done. I can remember going shopping with my mum when I was pregnant with my eldest son, Aaron. And we chose a white fabric with delicate blue flowers on it. And again, if only I'd taken notice of how much she'd purchased. I know it was a lot, and I know it was expensive even back in the early 90s. Do you remember going strawberry picking as a child, and the punnets that you would get? I've not seen them for a very long time, but they were cardboard punnets with metal handles. And one of the things that Mum would do, and I do remember one of my sisters helping her with that, was she would cover the punnet in the same fabric as the crib and covered the handle as well, so it all had padding on it, you know, the wadding and the fabric. And that would be a baby basket with, you know, baby lotion, because that was before baby wipes, you know, and all the creams and ointments that you'd need for babies. And that was a lovely new baby gift. So I was quite excited. I can remember when I was pregnant, I felt very grown up that I was, you know, going to have the same as well. Finally, it was my turn to use that baby crib and to have one of the baskets, but I didn't have a basket made from punnets. Mum actually bought a wicker basket. Whether even then it was harder to get the cardboard ones, I don't know, but she actually bought a wicker basket and covered that in the fabric. I could probably do this really quickly, but I want to take my time. I'm trying to think how old Mum would have been when she last covered this. She would have been in her early 60s, maybe 61, 62, something like that. A bit later. I will work out how many babies have actually slept in this crib. It used to sit at the foot of my bed when I had mine until they moved into their own rooms. I might ask my sister, who purchased it in the first place, if she can remember any of the details, because that was back in 1977. So I'll see if she can remember where she bought it from. I'm sure she will, and how much it cost her. It's coming off very well so far. I also remember a story with this fabric. It came back to me while I was chatting with my brother the other day, and obviously there was no online shopping 22 years ago. There were a lot more fabric shops around, and I remember my brother and his partner wanting, deciding they wanted Winnie the Pooh fabric. But because of copyright issues, it was really hard to get hold of any fabric. And Mum spent ages trying to source fabric by the meter. And like I say, couldn't at all because of copyright issues. She wasn't allowed to purchase, or they weren't allowed to sell it to her by the meter. So what they had to do was buy some curtains, Winnie the Pooh curtains, ready-made Winnie the Pooh curtains, and then use that fabric to make the crib, to cover the crib, which, like I say, that had slipped my mind until I was chatting with my brother, because we were talking about places to source fabric that he might want to use now, and he was saying that he'd seen some duvet covers that they liked, and I said, well, it's not, it's not that far-fetched, because lots of people, obviously, as we know, do use duvet covers for dressmaking, don't they? So I said to him, if that's all you can find, that's absolutely okay with me. I can work with duvet covers. But I think I sent him over a few links to some online shops, and I think he has just about made up his mind, or they have made up their mind, I should say. And it's going to be a little bit different to what this one looks like, that's for sure. Oh, that was a nice coffee. I got back into using my coffee machine. That was a caramel cookie flavour Nespresso pod, and I just warmed up some milk in a velvetizer that I got my husband for Christmas, and had some nice hot frothy milk with it. And I'm paying really careful attention as I'm unpicking it to see how my mum actually did it, you know, tackling different areas, like I'm on the handle here just now. So I wanted to make sure that I saw how she'd worked around that. Because I'm going to be honest, I have never done anything remotely like this before. The crib is detachable. It lifts off the base. It's quite handy to have it sat on there while I'm doing this. It's at the right height. Oh, we've got a massive wasp in here. I'll get my catcher. Ooh, that's a massive one. Gone out. No, it's not. Yes, it has. Ooh. Thankfully, I didn't need to use my gadget. It did find its own way out of the window. Oh, Mum, you put lots of little stitches there. So I can see there's lots of reinforcing needed around the handle, which is fair enough. Okay, well, we've got the front bit detached. Now I'm coming around. It's not very exciting now, is it? Now I'm just working my way around the hood here. So let's see if I can remember everybody's names of the babies that have slept in here. So first was Andrew. Then there would have been Lindsay. Then Melissa. Then Elizabeth, Laura, David. So by my calculations, we're up to 6. Then Aaron, Amy and Ross. That's 9. Then William, 10. Beth, 11. Any more? I think that's it. So the next one is number 12. Wow. So quite a lot of gathering, which is, let's say, why I need to get this off in one piece. Then ungather it and give it a measure. Oh my goodness. That is off. Wow. That looks quite bare now, doesn't it? I think I'll take a photo of that as it is and send that to my brother. Now I can see Mum's put lots of, I think this is where that curved needle will have come in. She's put lots of, she's sewn around the wicker to keep that in place all the way round. So all things for me to take note of. Which is another really good reason to be recording this, because I'll have a reference point for everything. We used to say that she could have made these for famous people, because in those days they weren't really celebrities, they were famous people. And she never realised just how talented she was in all the things that she did. And you know, she was like very much like, oh no, nobody would pay me to make, you know, one of these for their babies. And we were like, yes mum, they really would. And we talked about sourcing the cribs so that, you know, she had a supplier. But no, but she, as I think I've said before, she made everything look so easy, so effortless. She just got on and did these things. She certainly never had YouTube to refer to like we do, that's for sure. You know, like if we're not sure on how to do something, we'll Google it, or look on YouTube, follow a video instruction. There wasn't a book that told, you know, that said go and buy a crib and you need X amount of fabric. Very, very talented mum. I love having this stand to work with it on, because I can twist it and turn it. Now I need to take a bit of notice here as to how she's done this. This could be tricky. I always suspected that the hood section would actually be the trickiest. How's she got that on there? So apart from the gathering the fabric, putting the gathers in, everything else is done by hand or hand stitched. And I'm not going to lie, that's my least favourite. Form of sewing. Hopefully by the end of it I'll be a dab hand at hand sewing. Haha, dab hand at hand sewing. Oh, I'm so funny. Right. The other thing is that I've just suddenly thought, I think the fabric that my brother and his wife are choosing is going to be significantly darker than this. So there's not going to be really anywhere for me to hide with my stitches. I'm going to have to make sure I get a good coordinating thread. And try and make my stitches as small as possible. I thought I'd spotted some machine sewing then, but I hadn't. It was just the stitching on the wadding. So I'm just having a look. Because I'm merrily unpicking away, but I just want to have a look to see how Mum actually attached the fabric here. There we go. That is the hood fabric removed. Now that's not too much fabric wise, that's good. Oh, I think I might, oh, that feels like quite I think that's why I've been putting off doing this, because I knew it would be quite emotional to do. And another part of me feels that if I just get everything taken off, all the fabric taken off, then emotionally that's probably the hardest thing. But perhaps I shall just pop downstairs and get myself another coffee, and then I'll come back up and finish taking the lining fabric off. Right, that's what I'm going to do. Good morning, everybody. Today's date is actually Sunday. No, that's not right at all. Let's start again.